Stephanie Pringer is back in the kitchen, but less than 2 years ago, it's a place she never thought she'd be.
I never would have even thought that I would be working in a kitchen, that I would be running a kitchen. I mean, that's a big trigger for me.
As she moves through the kitchen with ease, you wouldn't think she had suffered from an eating disorder or alcoholism. But Pringer was an addict, and no matter where she ran, her addictions followed.
Sometimes I would have a little bit of a dry spell or a time where I was okay, but then the second that kind of the rug got pulled out from underneath of me or something happened, it was like kind of being on like a teeter-totter, right? So the second that something moves a little bit, it was just all gonna go again. So it was kind of like walking on eggshells, really, through life.
The 31-year-old was rarely without a job, though instead of a kitchen, it was in hair salons. Keeping the job was the problem.
When I wasn't drinking, I was having panic attacks to the point where they ended up saying that, you know, we love you, you're great when you're here, but we don't know what to do, because I was constantly having issues.
Issues can range depending on the person. Addiction specialist Dr. Tony Hammer says it could mean calling in sick, causing accidents, or simply not functioning at work.
And I think of it in terms of having two jobs because it is so demanding. And then as it becomes more demanding, the substance itself dulls the feeling of anxiety and the stresses associated with that. And as it progresses, your functioning level declines. And at that stage, an employer is likely to notice.
At treatment centers like the House of Sofrazine, job loss is just one of the issues women talk about. But Doris Stillman says it's a story she hears far too often.
If your employer gives you an opportunity to do A, B, C, and D in order to keep your job and you don't do those things, then what are you really doing to help yourself? So yes, you can definitely probably lose your job in a sense that if you're not doing what you're required to do, then you leave the employer no choice.
Pringer lost her job. In fact, she was in and out of jobs for years using her addiction to cope with stress. And eventually, it reached a climax Boxing Day 2014, when her aunt found her nearly unconscious.
She went with her gut, thank God, and came up to the house, drove up, and went in, came in and found me on the floor. And I was incoherent. I could barely speak. They ended up getting me into a detox, and I ended up in the hospital for 13 hours on IV, and I almost died.
Soon after that, her family decided to try the Windsor Life Center, 3 hours from her home. It's a city with a chronic unemployment problem, a place where she would probably find it difficult to get a job, especially with her background. Last year, about 1,500 people came through the doors of withdrawal management services at Hotel Dieu Grace Healthcare seeking help with their addiction. Nearly a third of them had jobs, but that means 2/3 were unemployed and 250 were actively seeking work. Places like the House of Sofrazine or the Windsor Life Center know the job market is tough for addicts, so they focus not only on treatment, but also teaching employability skills.
We try and equip them with basic computer skills, typing skills, familiarizing them with, say, the office suite, interview skills, job search resources in the community, unemployment help centers in the community, definitely getting them plugged into different resources in the community.
Pringer was fortunate. The center had a job for her. It needed someone to manage the kitchen. And it took a chance on her. And now she wants to give other women hope.
I want people to know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay that losing a job because of your addiction doesn't mean that your life is over. You know, that you can ask for help and there are people there that can help you.
Fiona McDonald says the center provided Pringer with an opportunity, but they can't do it for every resident. So she urges employers to look past the addiction.
I would so encourage people to be able to look at individuals with an addiction past with new eyes, fresh eyes, definitely. You might be surprised who you find.
Pringer says sometimes giving someone a chance is all it takes for that person to succeed.
Just think twice about, you know, what their struggles are, because the struggles are real and they hurt and it's painful, and that with the right help that people can come out of it, and they can succeed. And I'm living proof of that.
Sean Prevel, Mediaplex News.
That's it.